Okay, today we are going to be solving more equations.
It's on the ground.
Thank you. We're going to be solving more equations. What we're doing is we're building up your repertoire of types of problems that you can solve. Yesterday we added combining like terms and distributive property in combining like terms. We're not going to add anything new or any new type of problems for the next couple of weeks. We're just going to keep going over and over and over the types of problems that you've already learned how to do. Okay? And starting with -9 is equal to 5 over 17 times n. This problem looks a little bit different because the variable's on the right-hand side. But all of your concepts and techniques stay the same. In this case, you would divide each side by 5 over 17. And divide both sides, actually, by 5 over 17. The 5 over 17s cancel out. So in your calculator, you've got 9 negative divided by 5 over 17. And you should get -30, and 3/5 is equal to n. .4 is equal to 2p. This is just a one-step equation. The variable is being multiplied by 2, so your technique is to divide both sides by 2. Yes, the 2's cancel. And in your calculator, 3.4 divided by 2 equals 1.7 is equal to p. Yes, I'm going to give you about 10 examples today. And then I'm going to give you about 10 or 11 problems to do. The examples that I give you, you can match to the problems that I give you. And follow the same steps. And if you follow the same steps, you'll be able to solve for the variable correctly. And then when you go on Edline to do your homework, you'll get your homework questions correct. Okay? -7 is equal to h divided by 5. In this case, the variable is being divided by 5, so you're going to multiply both sides by 5. On the right-hand side, the 5's cancel. And the only thing you're left with is the variable. And then in your calculator, you can type 5 times 7 negative. -35. Alright, so those were all one-step equations. Now you've got some two-step equations. 6 over 7, x, minus 8 is equal to 7. Now you're going to try to get the 6 over 7x by itself. So in order to do that, you're going to add 8 to each side of the equal sign. On the left-hand side, the 8's cancel out. And the 6 over 7 times x comes down. 7 plus 8 is? Okay. The variable is being multiplied by 6/7, so you're going to divide both sides by 6/7. These will cancel. The x is now all by itself. So the 15 is still sitting in your calculator from when you added 7 plus 8. So 15 divided by 6/7. And 17 and 1/2. Very good. $70 equals -7, and then inside parentheses you have -2 minus 2z. In this problem, you need to do the distributive property first. So the 70 comes down. In your calculator, you got 7 negative times 2 negative. It's 14. And then you've got 7 negative times 2 negative again. That's going to be a positive 14z. Your next step is to get the variable by itself. So you're going to subtract 14 from each side. Now, in your calculator, take your calculator right now, please, and do 70 minus 14, hit equals. So 56 equals 14z. Now, if you just leave the calculator alone, the next step in this problem is to divide both sides by 14. So since the 56 is still sitting in your calculator, you can push divided by 14 equals. And 4 is equal to z. If you leave your last number in the calculator, you'll save yourself a step on each problem. All right, 4.7x plus 3.8 equals 13.2. This is a two-step equation with decimals. Yes? Interims, they get posted electronically to Edline. All right, in this problem, your first step is to subtract 3.8 from each side. The 3.8s on the left-hand side cancel out. So 4.7x is equal to 9.4. The next step is to divide each side by 4.7. The 4.7s cancel out. And x is equal to 2. Alright, 3 outside the parentheses times y minus 5 plus 2 is equal to 5. This is an example just like yesterday, or you learned how to do these yesterday, where you did the distributive property first. So 3 times y is 3y, and 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. And you rewrite the rest of the problem, which is plus 2 equals 5. Next, you have to combine like terms. The negative 15 and the positive 2, they're just regular numbers, so you can combine them. So 3y minus 13 equals 5. Going to add 13 to each side. Three y is going to equal 18. And what would you do next? Divide by 3. So y equals 6. Any questions up till now? Take a look at 4/5 x plus 3 is equal to 8. Anybody want to tell me the first step here? Very good. Subtract 3 from both sides. So 4/5 x is going to be equal to 5. Can anybody tell me what you would do next to solve for x? Divide both sides by 4 over 5. Very good. So divide by 4 over 5. Six and 1/4. Thank you. All right, 2 more examples, and then I've got some practice problems for you to do. Take a look at 16 is equal to negative 5 plus z. And all of the right side of the equation is over 4. In this case, you have an expression, the negative 5 plus z over 4. And you can eliminate this 4 by multiplying both sides by 4. And these two 4's will cancel each other out. So what you're left with on the left-hand side is 4 times 16, which is 64. And on the right-hand side, the only thing you have left is negative 5 plus z. So in order to solve for z now, you can just add 5 to each side. So 64 plus 5 is 69 is equal to z. All right, last one. 16 again is equal to negative D. It's just a negative sign in front of the D, plus 6. You're going to try to get the variable by itself. So in this case, you subtract 6 from each side. So watch what happens. 16 minus 6 is 10 equals negative D. Now you're not allowed to leave this negative sign in front of the variable in your answer. So when you see that, you divide both sides by negative 1. And 10 divided by 1 negative is negative 10. And when you take a negative D and you divide it by negative 1, a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So you're left with a positive variable. So D is equal to negative 10. Are there any questions? Are there any questions about how you do the homework now? I saw where 3 or 4 of you did it. If you're not sure how the homework works, you're going to have to come ask me or ask Jessica. Your assignment for today is on the wall. Please copy these down first. Skip 4 or 5 lines in between each. When you've completed this assignment, log on to Edline and see if there's an assignment there. You can't turn it in when you're done because you wouldn't be able to do the homework assignment if there is one on Edline, right? So you're going to keep this in your notebook.